Hi everyone, I'm Sabine and welcome to this demo of SQL Database in Microsoft Fabric. I started my career nearly 2 decades ago working with Microsoft SQL Server 2000, so it's exciting to see how far Microsoft SQL Database technology has evolved. SQL Database in Microsoft Fabric is powerful, modern platform designed for AI-enabled mobile and web apps, and focus on simplicity. It supports a native vector data type to store vector data embeddings and also built-in functions, vector functions, vector distance, vector search to calculate distance and used so which you can use in your AI models. And you see here, right, this is also available in other Microsoft database like SQL Server 2025, Azure SQL Database, and Azure SQL Managed Instance, right, along with this Microsoft in Fabric. So you may be wondering like what's special about being SQL database in Microsoft Fabric. Actually, SQL database is built with Azure SQL Database. So still, it is very simple to create in Microsoft Fabric compared to just creating Azure SQL Database. Like for example, right here, like even creating SQL database, like there are several things you need to consider, like several checkbox. Like you need to choose whether it is serverless, provision, or hyperscale, general purpose, business critical, and there are other things to choose as well, right? However, a SQL database in Fabrics comes with Fabric capacity pricing, so you already paid for it, so it's already there, and along with easy to create, it has auto backup, auto scale up, auto tuning, auto indexing, and zone redundant, and you also get auto replication on one lake. It's already in the Fabric's ecosystem, so and supports up to 4 terabytes. There are a lot of things and there are some limitation. Actually, I need a separate video for that, and I'm gonna create that to cover. And now actually let's head into the actual demo for SQL database in Fabric. This is part of end-to-end tutorials in Microsoft Fabric demo. So here I'm going to cover Fabric SQL Database. Here in the Fabric SQL Database, and this Fabric SQL Database is new and is still in preview as of this is recorded July 6, 2025. But it has very interesting features. And this demo, I'm going to cover all of these from 1 to 9. From creating Workspace, creating SQL database, and ingesting data from sample database, and creating some extra objects. And like number 4 here, querying database and some features, and also looking into SQL Analytics Endpoints and querying data, and the other thing, creating some visuals, sharing visuals, and do some data analysis using Fabric notebooks. And DevOps, I'm not able to show DevOps here, but at least I'm gonna show the GraphQL API, and at the end I'm gonna clean up resources. Yes, and this would be high level of end-to-end architecture diagrams. Where the data source, ingestion, and store. This is the database we're creating, and this is for querying GraphQL API, and this is high-level diagram. And now let's head it to demo on the fabrics and start creating new workspace. So creating new workspace, right? First of all, make sure we are in fabric, and I see here new workspace. I can create from here, or I can go from here. So you go and create new workspace, either is fine. So I'm clicking here. So I'm giving the name Supply Chain Analytics Tutorial. You can give description if you like, and advance. Yeah, so I need to select this fabric. So here I do have a fabric trial capacity, so I'm using that and keep apply. All right, so now all right, so our workspace is created, and now next step is creating SQL database. So before creating SQL database, so it is also still in the preview. If it is still in preview, we have to make sure it is the preview features has been enabled for creating SQL database. So you can go to admin portal, and like here you can see SQL database preview. So it's already been enabled, so it will let me create the SQL database. So I'll go back to the workspace, so I can go home and I'll go back to my workspace. So I can do new items. So so you see several category: get data, store data, and in the store data now I can see the SQL database. So I'll give a name, Supply Chain Analytics Database, create. So it will take a minute to create this SQL database. So it took about a minute to create a database. Now it has been created. Now next step is to get sample data. So here I can get a sample data from here, and if you are not in this window, like if you are not in this page, you can also get from here. So sample data, like took about a minute to get populated. So it's right here, sales LT, sample data, and all the tables and views and store procedures got imported. Now next step is to query, create a query using Copilot. However, my Copilot has not been enabled, so I won't be able to do it, but I will show this from the tutorial here. So we just imported our data, especially from database. So in this database, right, I can see look at here, we can basically ask question, and it will create a SQL for us, right? This is what it's trying to show, and yep, and this is a prompt, create query, that shows the total, and yep, and we can basically, it will generate query and you can run it. Now next step would be creating schema, creating a schema and tables. So like supply chain schema, and then creating a table, supply chain warehouse, and so like warehouse is a table and it's creating into supply chain schema. So and it is inserting, this part is inserting the data from sales LT product sample database, and will be loaded into this table. So yeah, let me run this, and it can create schema. It will be right here, yeah, in the warehouse. Yeah. So in the warehouse table, in the supply chain schema, okay, now this schema is created, and this schema, this warehouse table has been created, and also data is loaded from this sample table. So for this SQL database, I have to look to the schema here, supply chain, and here I can see the warehouse table has been created. So this is product, like here, product ID, component ID, supply ID, and this is what has been created. So it should have a data as well. I mean, we can query this, select top 1000 rows, and yeah, we can see data there. Next step, we're getting data using data flow. So I can get from data flow from here, and so we're getting data from OData. So I can go here and click on more and search for OData. All right, here's the OData, and we're getting Northwind sample data. So I'll leaving everything as default and click on next. Okay, it's trying to connect, so I will only get suppliers data from here. All right, suppliers data, create. All right, so I can publish from here. Actually, I can name, or I can just publish. All right, so it has been published. Okay, it is published, and I can see it has been refreshed. Now the next step is querying the database. So I'm going to use SQL. Click open. So a new query. I can paste query. So this is top 10 from sales, and this is from warehouse. So it's creating, running the SQL, and then creating a views. All right, let's run those both. All right, so this is the top part, giving the results from this, and this is the view. So views should be in here in the supply chain right here. So yes, this is the view we just created, and we can query this thing. All right, so this is the data from the views. So I'm able to select the data from the views, and if we look into the views, it has data from supply chain warehouse, and at the same time DBO suppliers data, which we extracted from OData sample data. So as we run these queries, it collects all the data here in the performance summary. So I can click here in the performance summary and get the performance summary. Yeah, so recent 24 hours, CPU user connection, request per second, block queries, and I can look into the dashboard view. Like a CPU consumption, and you can see all the query ID query I have run so far. and user connection, requests per second, blocked queries, allocated size, and also automatic index. This automatic index is part of the tuning, automatic index management for query performance and data retrieval speed. It will improve performance by optimizing and removing unused index. So this is interesting. Okay, now I'm going to back to database. Here, and we click into this gear, we can see the restore point. So this is the restore point. So this is the thing. So when we as soon as the database created, it will create a restore point. It does automatic full backup, right? And this has some limitation. So this has some limitation and some automatic features, right? So right now it does full backups every week, differential backups every 12 hours, and transaction log backups approximately every 10 minutes. So this is automatically enabled while creating the database. And if we go to the limitation, right, so you cannot control the frequency of backups SQL database in Fabric yet. You cannot change the backup retention period. So this is now 7 days. So this is what we have. Now security in SQL database in Fabric is very similar to SQL Server. So we can go here and click on security, and can click manage security and security, and we can create one custom roles. So I can create a custom roles which has only read and execute access. So I can select all right, sales and sell LT and supply chain, and I can remove other access and only giving access to select and execute. So let me save it. So this is the supply chain read execute access and this custom role. So we can give this custom role to our users and roles. And so here you can manage like adding user or groups this permission, right? So you can add with the users you want. All right, let's cancel and move on. And now I will go to this query from the SQL endpoints. So all right, so there are, so far we have created this database, and this is database. So I'm going to the SQL endpoints, and SQL endpoints, it's querying, and I will use a query here while this is populating. So this is a views. So here is one views, and it is getting data from several tables, from sales LT and other tables, and similarly there is another views and another views. Okay, I'll just run this. All right, let's see the views. has been created here. So yeah, these 3 views has been created in this supply schema, supply chain schema, and it's right here. So this now the next step would be creating and sharing the visualizers, right? So this SQL endpoints is a little bit different. Now this has a model layouts, a little bit different. So from here you have, and if we go back to, like, let's go back here. I can come back here. Okay, right here. So if this is SQL Analytics, and if I click here, yeah, I don't see this model layout here, right? So if I go back here and if I connect to SQL Analytics, it's a little bit different. It has features for model layout. So that's the difference. And let me create model layout. So this can be used as a model for Power BI. All right, so now I'll go to reporting and new report, and these are the tables, and I'll just do continue. All right, so this is now I am in the Power BI. So I have all the tables here populated, so I can create the reports I want. All right, so I can use one of the views which I created. All right, this is the report, and I can log into the table format. So yeah, so it's just a different things, right? So you can create whatever the report you want. So okay, I could have just a location. I can look into the location, and all right, so location, supplier. All right, so I don't want this sum here. So I will save this report. Let's say save this report, and I'm gonna save in the same and save it. All right. Now once I save it, now I have an ability to share the people you want. Right. Okay. Next, I'm gonna go to data analysis using notebook. So I can go back to Workspace. So I'm going to the same Workspace and opening the SQL Analytics here, and the SQL query, I can do the query from the notebook here. So yeah, now I can click on code and do whatever you want. And actually you could simply query tables here, like table views. So I can go here and actually top 100, see, like now I can run this, like, yeah, I'll get data for that. Okay, all right, I'm going to create a chart. All right, next step is creating SQL application using DevOps and GraphQL GraphQL API. I don't have a DevOps setup, so I'll continue on GraphQL API. So maybe I'll cover this in some other video. All right, so I'll go to the creating API for GraphQL. All right, so I'll go back to here and we'll go back to Workspace, go back to here, and for this I have to choose the SQL Database. All right, so here is a new API for GraphQL. I can give some name. All right, so I have the ability to choose the table. So I'll choose the supply chain, the products by suppliers. Let's try to look others option. What option I have? Okay, it's not letting me expand this. Okay. Let's see. Select this and load. All right, so I'll replace this query with this one, and let me run this. So query, product suppliers, filter, supplier ID, EQ7, and let me run this. Okay. So this is the result I'm getting. Okay, so for this I need to copy the endpoint and use it in. I cannot use it straight here in the browser. So I cannot in the browser. So for this, actually, there is an instruction I need to follow. I need to follow the instruction right here. So these are the prerequisite for running the. Okay, so we completed this, and this is what we are here. So yeah, so to able to, this is what we able to view like this, like you're passing the location ID and you're searching, right? And for this to make it work, so first step is we need to install proper .NET, and then there is a instruction here, step by instruction. Yeah, from by Buckwitty. So yeah, looks like you need to create ASP.NET Core application and install all the packages. And all right, so this is it. And after that, right, after doing this, the next step would be cleaning the workspace. So workspace, like to cleaning, I go to this workspace, and then in the workspace settings, you can go here, and if you go all the way bottom, so if you see the remove this workspace, if you click it, and then it will delete this workspace. So all the content inside will got deleted. All right, thank you.